Hello, Greeley. Here's your agenda overview for the July 14th Greeley City Council work session. There are two big things on the agenda that I want to make sure you know about. While there are no votes at work sessions, the direction that council gives in these sessions shapes what actually comes back for a vote later, so they matter. Staff will be presenting 7 topics they want council's direction on before drafting actual code changes. Most of them are pretty straightforward. For example, urban agriculture. Can you have chickens in your backyard? If so, how many? Cottage commercial, which addresses whether or not a neighbor can run a small business out of their home. They'll also be addressing build-to-rent housing, oil and gas setbacks, gravel extraction standards, and solar energy rules. But the 7th one on data centers is one I expect to garner a lot of attention given all that's been going on in our community. Right now, Greeley's developmental code has 0 specific standards for data centers, none. If someone wanted to build one today, the city would have very limited tools to regulate it. Staff is recommending that council direct them to allow data centers by special use review, much like the county, in industrial zones only, which means owners would have to apply and go through a public review process. They're also recommending setbacks from residential areas and noise standards. Staff is also recommending that council consider allowing small modular reactors, which are small nuclear reactors, for power for those, as well as large-scale battery storage systems as accessory uses to data centers in Greeley. Data centers are one of the most water-intensive and energy-intensive land uses that exist currently. Residents have raised concern about this at past council meetings as we've grappled with the possibility of Carestream, the new global AI center, being annexed to Greeley. The code update process will include future public input opportunities, and I wanted you to know that the conversation is starting. While many don't want data centers at all, I would challenge that likely we will be faced with them in the potentially near future, and so having a firm plan on how to regulate them is really important. The second item is the 5th and final budget work session before the 2027 proposed budget gets assembled. Tomorrow we'll cover internal services, which is the city clerk's office, human resources, IT, and the innovation team, as well as water and sewer, stormwater, and public works. Quick hits, HR is cutting 3 positions, including 4 manager level roles. IT is eliminating the chief information officer position. The staff says that the city is also losing over 400 years of combined institutional knowledge through all of the retirements, cuts, and restructuring that's happening across departments right now. On utilities, your water and sewer bill is going up again. There will be a 4.5% water increase and a 3% sewer increase, equating to the typical monthly bill going from about $120 to $123 if these budget cuts are accepted and revenue increases. Downtown flooding infrastructure is the driving force behind stormwater spending, and it's tied directly to the Civic Center Campus construction timeline as they're trying to expedite those outfall projects in order to accommodate the Civic Center Campus. Full department by department breakdown will be in a separate post. Work sessions are open to the public to watch, but there's no public comment. If any of what I've just described concerns you or interests you, the July 21st regular city council meeting is where you can speak. I encourage you to stay informed, Greeley. This stuff matters. The last thing on the agenda is to go into the executive session on the Civic Center campus, and there will be a special meeting leading into this work session to cover what was pulled from the agenda last week. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope to see you at the next meeting.